Welcome to today's Barefoot Morning Letter. We're going to dive into a personal story that's pretty incredible, one that actually shaped a whole philosophy on life, and on what the source says is a way to cure even the most serious illnesses. So let's get right into it. So this all starts over 60 years ago. The author remembers a childhood just roaming free through the fields and mountains of Hamyang. We're not just talking about playing outside here. This was a life literally lived with his feet on the earth. And you've got to picture how wild this was. Between the ages of 6 and 10, every day was this big adventure, chasing grasshoppers, catching fish right out of the stream, even coming across snakes coiled up on a hillside. This time really built this deep, unshakable connection with the natural world. But then, everything changed. After those 5 years in nature, he moves to the big, bustling city of Seoul. Why? To get ready for the super intense world of entrance exams. It was a complete 180, from total freedom to total structure. So he gets to Seoul, and right away he's labeled the country bumpkin. Everybody just assumes he's going to be at the bottom of the class. But here's where things get interesting. He goes from being ranked 35th all the way up to 5th. And that experience, it planted a belief in his mind that's stuck with him ever since. If you put in the effort, you can do anything. This newfound belief in himself needed an outlet, and in high school, he found it. He discovered a reading club called Stainless, and he didn't just join it. He poured his entire soul into it. His commitment was just total. A friend actually gave him this nickname because he was so relentless about it. From sunrise to sunset, it was all he thought about. He lived and breathed this club. And this whole experience, this intense focus, it cemented a philosophy that would define the rest of his life. It's a Korean phrase, bulgwang bulgup, and it basically means if you want to achieve something truly great, you can't just be interested. You have to be completely, almost crazily devoted to it. So why are we talking about a high school reading club? Well, here's where it all connects. That same insane level of dedication he had back then, he's now applying it to something completely different, achieving health through barefoot walking. You see? The motto just changed a little. That madness, that total focus, is now aimed at creating a world free from disease all through the simple act of barefoot walking. It's the exact same philosophy, just with a new mission. Okay, so here's the big question, right? Dedication is one thing, but can it really help cure a terminal illness? Well, the idea behind it is something called grounding or earthing. The theory is pretty simple. When your bare skin touches the earth, your body can absorb free electrons from the ground. These electrons act like super powerful antioxidants, fighting the inflammation that science tells us is at the root of so many diseases. So let's look at some real people who've put this to the test. First up, let's talk about Park Jae-hong. At age 66, he got news that would absolutely devastate most people. Get this, stage 4 liver cancer. The doctors told him it was inoperable. So what did he do? He refused chemotherapy and chose a completely different path. He decided to commit himself 100% to barefoot walking as his cure. And his commitment was no joke. We're talking 7 to 9 hours of barefoot walking every single day. That is bulgwang bulgup in action. Now, according to the source, he reports feeling totally healthy and strong. And his story isn't a one-off. Now let's look at Lee Yanhua. Lee Yanhua was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer that had already spread to her ribs. Her doctor said it was inoperable and gave her maybe 6 months to live. She decided to embrace barefoot walking with what she called a do-or-die spirit. A year and a half after that terrible prognosis, the source says she's living a healthy, vibrant life. These are incredible stories about how total, unwavering dedication to this practice can, in their experience, completely turn around a life-ending diagnosis. So if you're hearing these stories and feeling inspired, you're probably asking, okay, how can I start doing this myself? And just as important, how do I do it safely? All right, let's break it down. Step 1, you have to be consistent. We're talking at least 30 minutes every single day if you want to see results. 2, pick your spot carefully. Start on soft, clear ground like a dirt trail or a sandy beach. 3, be smart and protect yourself. Always be aware of where you're stepping, and it's a good idea to consider a tetanus vaccination just for extra peace of mind. And finally, winter care is a must. And please listen to this next part, it's so important, especially in the cold months. After you walk and wash your feet, you have to apply a really generous amount of moisturizer. This is the key to preventing painful cracked heels and keeping the skin on your feet healthy. And so here we are, right back where we started, with this core philosophy. The message is to take that same level of stainless club dedication and point it right at your own health. It's about that total, focused commitment, day in and day out. And the best part is, you're not in this alone. You're encouraged to start your own journey and join the National Barefoot Walking Movement headquarters on Neighbor Cafe. It's a huge community where you can share stories, get information, and connect with thousands of other people doing the exact same thing. What a powerful story, right? All about dedication and a really different way of looking at health. If you found this explainer helpful, please think about subscribing and liking. It really helps us bring more stories like this one to light. Thanks so much for watching.